Are you the Odysseus?
I am. I trust you are one of Parango's men.
Yes, sir. Colonel Maynard. I bring terrible news. Delphi has been lost to the Yellows.
Damn she!
Did you just...
Curse? Yes, it was called for. And their name is the Egyptians.
We need reinforcements of our own! They are going to punch through!
I would try to flank them, but Marsh's men can't hold on to our lines. Neither can yours for that matter, if I'd been permitted to devise our course of action.
Last time I checked, you weren't fast, General.
Neither are you. Certainly a step in the right direction. If we could withdraw west to Delphi, we could gain enough support to launch our counterattack and cut them off.
Negative. We don't know where they are headed. If we withdraw, they could head for Athens.
Was I talking to a wooden wall when I said earlier that we can't hold out for long? Even before this battle, I didn't command enough men to maintain a balance. If they circle us, we'll be slaughtered like...
Then our course is clear. We shall withdraw to Delphi, but continue to engage the enemy.
What? We are not worms, and they are not fishes.
What nonsense!
I will not be bait.
Then why don't you desert us surely, as Marsh believes Achilles has?
Shouldn't we try to link ourselves with Newsant and his forces?
Absolutely not. Newsant must guard the way to Athens, in case this is a ruse, unlikely as it seems. If we head east, the Egyptians could easily capture Delphi and fortify themselves there. I can take care of myself, but Delphi can't. We can hold it for a while, prevent the Egyptians from launching an attack on Athens itself. If the veteran training facilities there are destroyed, we'll never recover. Parango, I need the fastest of your men to deliver a message to Marsh, informing him of situation. Add that if these Yellows decide to siege Delphi, recommend he send Newsant's forces to halt their advance.
And that is when I left Delphi to deliver this message. The Egyptian forces, indeed, followed them to siege the city.
By the fires of Tartarus, did the Yellows follow you?
No, I avoided the main routes. Safety over speed, sir.
Yet you managed to arrive here before Newsant's messenger?
Well, I am light cavalry.
How's that? You're not that thin.
Never mind.
Sadly, I cannot send troops to break the siege. At least not just yet. Nusi's position is under attack.
You seem awfully relaxed considering the circumstances. We are facing a full invasion.
I don't rush into things like Trigger did. I'll have to wait and see if the attack on Newsant is the real one. For all we know, there could be a third force advancing here. I can't afford having those mavretting Egyptians making circles around us. I have an assignment for you.
But with Parango away, I am the senior officer in charge of our light cavalry forces here. My duty
is, above all, to First General, and the last time I checked my skivvies, that was me. Is me. Round up Heracles, Achilles, Adi, and that other one if you can find the rock he's been hiding under. Oh, and V as well. There are more tough decisions ahead for us all.
Fellow allies! I am Captain Hugh of the British. Our most recent naval engagement with the Egyptians went well in our favor, but I can see that my request to transfer here was most timely.
I've heard of you, but you are not Tarleton's lieutenant.
I was promoted following his unexpected death.
What happened?
He died defending the king's land, as any good man should.
The city is lost, and we are heavily wounded. You must be Tarleton.
Oh, you must be new.
I'll deal with your attitude later. Trigger, we must fall back and regroup.
Lorak!
What men of mine? Ours who are not dead are gravely injured and exhausted. There's no reason to defend these ashes any longer. Moving deeper into our territory to find healers and rest must be our priority now. We are not watching much, right, General?
Yes, get to it! I don't know why your men aren't following Prango's orders, but I don't have the luxury of carrying right now. You, order them to withdraw.
But Trigger, aren't we even going to try recapturing Delphi? You can see I brought some of our archers with me, and I assure you they are only the best. With our help we could...
No, even if we were successful in breaking their offensive, our losses would be even heavier, and we can't afford it. Either of us. I'm sure Marsh will not wait long to order a recapture attempt. We'll regroup to Athens.
But he isn't here, can't you...
We'll regroup to Athens.
Then I volunteer to wait on the outskirts for when this order comes through. You yourself say it's all but a guarantee.
Very well then.
Councilman, I bring urgent news. Delphi is lost. You must return to the council immediately.
A mistake I hope that one day our descendants can find it in their hearts to forgive the Egyptians. If we continue to defend ourselves with honor and determination, we may even be able to call an Egyptian friend someday. If we can manage that, we could not only reinstate intranational trade, but also establish international routes.
With all due respect, Councilman.
Yes, of course, young man. The task at hand. I was on my way to Sparta, but clearly I must turn around now.
Odysseus, there may be Egyptians advancing to Athens. We should return using an alternate route.
Lead on, then.
Spice? Is that you?
A friendly face. It's a relief I recognized your well-tailored clothing at the last moment. You would have been shielding your eyes from flying coins had I not. True, they are not the greatest of weapons, but what other way do I have to defend myself against enemy raiding parties?
Those rumors have yet to be substantiated. As you can begin to make out, I'm escorting Odysseus back to Athens. Delphi has fallen to the Egyptians and...
Mavret! Word has it that there are extensive ruins around Delphi that have yet to be explored. What relics they could be! What relics they could hold!
You're worried about a loss of business? You're no better than Tycoon. We are at war.
Which is why we cannot afford to stand around here any longer. Let's march ahead, but stay together. We haven't the time to afford the luxury of scouting ahead.
With all due respect, Councilman, I take offense at that pun. And relics? To sell? Hardly. I want to restore and cherish them. I have a bet with Luther and Maven that I can find the whereabouts of the first city... Well, first and...
Jason, are you feeling alright?
It's obviously self-contradictory, you see.
What has happened?
Why are you such a hypocrite?
I need you to start from the beginning, Jason. Try again.
You made a good decision when you refused to follow orders. I can see that you've given this matter a lot of thought. You believe that there may be better places to build a new city, and where does that leave us? Yes, that...
Yep, he's dead. Not surprisingly.
Such a violent end to such a young life. May he rest in peace.
We're unworthy in the eyes of our gods. They created the world, and we have been the instrument of its destruction.
Spice, I know of no more devoted follower of the gods in all of Greece. You would be as much of an asset in that service as the calling you chose to answer. In fact, it was about just that I was talking to Maynard earlier.
The gods would be rewarding us if we were in their favor. This war we find ourselves in is immoral.
I have heard this war called many things, both truthful and mad, but none so academic.
The gods spoke to us through Jason, but clearly they didn't want him knowing that. The strength of our state is tied directly to our faith. Well, look at how the Egyptians have manifested their fortune through theirs. The choice of Jason to be the gods' messenger is clear. To cripple our government. The council must change their sacrilegious ways or be swept aside for the sake of all our souls.
Trigger, is failure to become your middle name? Couldn't you have held Delphi a bit longer?
With what? My wit? We must reconquer Delphi. If they establish a foothold there, we'll be cut off from the British and surrounded, literally. I was in agreement with you until I learned that Nasant is under attack as well. Our effort to draw the Egyptians' attention to Delphi and hold them there has failed. Athens must be our focus now. We should recall Nasant here and entrench ourselves.
Agreed.
And what of us Spartans? Haven't we suffered enough?
You are of Athenian descent, are you not?
So are we all, Heracles, but how relevant that is.
I have lived almost all of my adult life in Sparta. I have raised my children there. I have friends there. What if the Red Enemy attacks there again? Last I was there, we barely had the means to defend ourselves from wild animals. Have you sent reinforcements from here to there since I left?
It is unlikely that the Red Enemy, as you so colorfully refer to them, will rebuild itself so fast. The threat we face comes from the Yellows, and if they want to take Sparta, they'll have to come through Athens.
You fools! You care only for your own heads. We are as much Greek as you, yet you are preparing for a last stand here?
I don't recognize your authority to speak on behalf of...
You heard Odysseus and Spice's account of Jason's death? He is no longer able to speak for Sparta, so I will. I am!
Watch that tongue or I'll have it cut from your head. You are not in the presence of just some glorified civvies.
I could really say the same to you, General.
You generals, squabble amongst yourselves and allow these old-timers to have the final say. The building of the academy here in Athens assured its protection above all else. It is all the council cares about.
Your open disrespect of council and disregard for our procedures has come to an end, Scout. I don't ever recall Jason speaking for Sparta, but you are not about to start. I move that you are not allowed to attend future council sessions or finish seeing this one.
What? I come here for help and you cast me out?
I second the motion. Don't make this last visit of yours to council any more painful for us than it already is. Please depart on your own accord and we won't call the guards.
Oh, I'll depart all right. I'll return to Sparta with news of this betrayal. We will neither forgive or forget your actions here. That include your sound acceptance of this treatment, Odie.
Take a breath, Lookout. We are dealing with separate issues here. I too am aware of the greater needs of Greece as a whole, and must depart to Sparta as well. I will now be its voice in council, so we might as well go together. I can make it in order if I have to.
How conveniently you now forget that the Council transferred authority over Lookout and Intrepid to military control! V, you're a Spartan lover, it seems. Why don't you accompany these men? Maybe you can spook the red enemy away but good.
We will need fresh troops in order to repel them as fast as possible. If we are fast enough, we may even retake Delphi. Perhaps we can release Calden. Able-bodied men are increasingly in short supply. We will consider it. Go now, Virtue.
You heard him, V. Move!
That's settled. Farango, send a message to Usen telling him to withdraw here. Objections, Odysseus? Thought not.
As you decree, Councilman.
He has a point. If we move fast, perhaps the sheer bulk of our forces would overwhelm the enemy. If Calden does not prove his worth on the battlefield, the Egyptians will take care of him.
Lookout, I want you to know that I am aware of what is wrong with the Council. I am organizing a group of trusted individuals who share a desire to instill a renewal in Greece. The recent treatment of Sparta is just another example of the Council's malice and incompetence.
You would know. Your support of Heracles' motion to banish me carried it through. That alone.
I cannot risk shaking my position further by confronting my colleagues openly. This is why I am building a political opposition. We are biding time to eventually retake power from Council and give it to the people of Greece.
No, I don't want to have anything to do with this. You're just like them. Leave me be.
Gentlemen, once again we meet. I'm sad to report I have failed to sway Lookout to our side, although he may not be lost to us permanently. While he sees the disease that is the Council, he cannot accept that I am the cure. Now that he knows of our existence, we must consider him as much of a threat to our plans as Heracles or Marsh. I'm afraid the Council has learned of Lieutenant's crime. I tried to cover for him, but it did not hold. He is ridden with guilt and may confess if a finger is pointed at him. This brings me to an unfortunate point. As you know, I am the best hope for Greece, least we leave it to the like of Marsh and Heracles. You know that Delphi is now under Egyptian control? If they remain unchecked, the future of all our people is at stake. Lieutenant believes in the cause, just as we do, but he went too far, killing Luther, Maven, Jason, and now the stench of murder lingers around him. My very being with him at the time of these events puts my political career in jeopardy, and with it our hopes for a better Greece. You can help. In our next battle with the Egyptians, make sure that Lieutenant gives his life for Greece, be it their hands or your own. May our dream of a stronger, purer Greece never die.